Morning, good morning. How the heck are ya? What a lovely day. I assume it'll be a lovely day. Still dark outside, so I really have no idea. But any day this side of the dirt, it's a fairly lovely day, I would say. What is going on here? This is not how that's supposed to be. This is supposed to say dollar yen. Why are you messed up? Let's fix that. Dollar yen here. Should be euro dollar here. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Oh, look at euro dollar taking a dump. Alright, so we got dollar yen, pound dollar, dollar cat, Aussie dollar. That's all correct. Euro dollar, pound franc, dollar franc. Right? Yeah, dollar franc. Why is this being all weird? Alright, everybody stop. Stop what you're doing right there. Okay. Oh dear. Why are we doing this? Alright, I need to work on maybe this. Let's get that stopped right there. That's the problem, I think. Now it'll stop trying to make everything catch up. Okay. Pound franc, dollar franc, and Kiwi yen. That's the way we want it to look. So let's have a looky. Hey, Maddie, what's up? What's up? I'm doing pretty good. Got my first cup of Joe. Boy, that's good. Just getting up, greeting the day, ready to grab it by the horns and wrestle it into submission. Okay, let's start with the old dollar yen, see what we see. Yeah, me, we're still kind of still playing around in the same area we were yesterday, huh? Still dancing in this zone, ranging. I do see, I mean, this is a heck of a pin right here. Pretty serious manipulation yesterday during New York, huh? Look at that. Vector push straight to the bottom. Stopping volume on this candle. Pull right back up. Just a big ass trap is all that is. Stopping volume here. And then look at these. Stop punts. Stop punts. So it's still, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. Of dollar yen right now still. You know. Yeah, we've got this peak. We've got to retrace basically here for the first level. You know, this could qualify as your second level, so you know, I guess the next thing we would expect is a rise out to the top. Looking to probably, maybe this is our next zone of interest, is this candle right here, I would guess. So we'll mark that, and we'll say that is our kind of our expected move. Yeah, last from the peak over here, it took, once the move happened, you got your retrace and then drop. That was a 4-day move. This drop, yeah, I could see this. I mean, I think it'll be, you know, the most important area here is going to be what happens when it taps this line again. Right. Does it reverse and head downward, or does it power through and claim this area? I think I would hedge my bets, and I would be looking for it to go this way. I mean, on this 1 hour right now, you kind of, this is kind of a wedge formation that we're looking at right here. And this, the quicker that this, well, the closer this gets to narrowing, the narrower this gets, the longer it takes, the more explosive the move at the end of it would be. So I'm guessing when this actually pops off, we'll just draw this trend right here. I mean, look at these, roughly where these lows peak out. And then let's grab the highs. Actually, let's start the highs from the second peak, not from this move, but from here. Roughly there. So yeah, I mean, when this flag, well, some people call it a flag formation, some call it a wedge. It's, you know, this would be, technically this would be a rising wedge, because you see how the top is staying flatter than the bottom. That's a rising wedge. And if I'm not mistaken, a rising wedge, I feel like I've read that a rising wedge signifies a drop, but I don't think I've seen it actually play out that way. Let's see if we can look up a little. Oh, can't type wedge. Yeah, see right here, rising wedge is a bearish pattern that begins wide at the bottom, contracts as price moves higher and trading range narrows. So it should be, yeah, here's an example. Yeah, look, that's essentially what we're looking at, this type of a rising wedge where the top stays more flat. But then look, here's a rising wedge that there's a lot of information out here. Downward, downward, downward. Now these over much longer time frames. Downward. Like all these say, I continuously read that a rising wedge is supposed to signify a drop. But I will tell you that I have charted many of them out myself, and that is not always what happens. So it's not even, it doesn't seem to be even most of the time that that's what happens. So I don't know. We'll follow this and see how that goes. Supposedly rising wedges are supposed to signify a drop. I don't think that's going to happen personally in this scenario. I mean, look at these massive pins to the low. I mean, this actually looks like it's about to just pop off to the high side. That would be my guess. If I had to make a guess, I'm saying we're headed up here pretty soon. We'll find out. Can I check Euro USD daily chart at some point? Notice something interesting. There is PFL 2020 March, then 2 levels up, and then looks like a huge M. Steve Morrow said about the wedges that MMs are trapping contracts both sides and hunting stops. Yeah, that is for sure, that is correct. No doubt about that. Yeah, let's check your euro dollar real quick. So you want to look at the daily chart, okay? So let's turn this stuff off. Go daily. You know, I swear I deleted all it. Did I not delete all this stuff yesterday? I'm not crazy. Maybe I am correct. No, this is your new hypothesis, right? Maybe? Or is that an old one? I don't remember. Okay, you're saying 2020 March, then 2 levels up, and then peak formation low. It's like a huge M. All right. So let's go to 2020 March. Okay, so here's your peak low. Yeah. There. 1 level, 2 level. Is this your M formation right here? Starting here. I see what you're saying. You're talking this right here, right? Down to here, up to here, down to there. Yep. That's the new Maddie hypothesis. All right, let me attempt one more time. This thing has got a, I swear there's a ghost in the machine here. This thing just, sometimes it does not save. So let's mark this right here. Look at that. Yeah, that would be a nice big fat M. And it would conform. Like, we could mark this off. We could even just call this a really extended large head and shoulders inverted with your level here, level there. So interesting to see if we get 3rd level rise and then an M, or if this is the M. And matter of fact, this could be the M right here, I guess. Could have already formed. Right? And then this could be your level 1 retrace. Interesting. Although I don't think that would qualify because the high of this retrace would be above where the M formation is. So no, I think it's more likely that this M is still forming. Yeah. And that this will come over here somewhere. All right, let me get the music back on. No, it is interesting. Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. Because, I mean, look how much more clear these levels are than this drop that got us to this last peak formation low. These are pretty nice levels here. Like this one, this one, this one, and then a peak. That's what I'm wondering. Could this level we're in right here be akin to this level right here, where we get this? I mean, it's almost the exact shape, isn't it? Look at that. So we could have one more rise to get our M peak. Like that actually is, those are very, very similar formations right here. I wish I could make, actually I can make those go away. Let me just disconnect from my broker. Crap. Yeah, log out. There we go. Those should go away now. Okay, good. Yeah, let's see. So we have peak, drop, peak, drop, retrace, drop, peak, drop. So that's this formation that's happening right now. How well does that fit over here? Fairly close. I mean, this is extended, and then this just kept rising. But I mean, that's very, very similar price action. What do you think about that, Manny? To suggest that perhaps this is, you know, one move off, but maybe we may be headed up for one more level before this M, and that would, look at this. Now, if that happened, would that would that create like Mega Monster M? Like that? Interesting. Worth thinking about. I like that. Okay, let's check. let's go back down to the 1 hour on here and see what are the next zones of interest if we turn here. Got a lot to pick up below though. Yeah, we got a lot of areas to pick up down here, don't we? Big giant vector right there. Big one right here. Massive one right here. This one has been recovered almost entirely. This guy right here. That's where we are now. Yeah, those are some areas that I'm looking for. From this local peak here. First level probably would be there. Yeah. Let's see what our cross is. We've got a cross here, bear. We got a bear cross. A little tanglement here and then a bear there again there. Obviously this big nice bear cross here brought us all the way down. It looks like in terms of like if you were scalping this looks like stopping volume to me. It looks like we may be headed to on a little bit of a retrace, but I think the drop is probably still coming. And I would bet that these don't cross right now. I bet these signal lines stay bearish for a bit yet. Unless the next time we test this 800, it rejects again. But my guess is the next time we test it, it pushes through. Either way, I think this looks like a bearish trend that will continue this week. So my guess is something along here will probably catch resistance and not cross the 50. I'm assuming we're going to break through there at some point, head in this direction. ADR for this is 63.8. We've moved today already. Well, that's not true. Let me go back to Sydney. So the Hong Kong high is here. London so far. And the Brinks box got us 40. So there's 28 more pips to move to be, or 23 more to move within the ADR. That would put us down here roughly by the end of today, if it stays within that range. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking for here. Quick review of pound dollar. Well, for some reason it looks like none of my annotation. It could be because, and Maddie, I should apologize to you because my internet died yesterday and it just kicked me off. I didn't get a chance to tell anyone bye or anything. So we're hoping that doesn't happen again. I tried to hop back on and say something before I went to work, but it just wouldn't stay connected long enough to let me stream again. Yeah, I mean, pound dollar is making a wedge as well, just like the euro dollar is. Don't know where that's going to go. I mean, I guess there's two potential M's that we could have a very large one here. We also have a very choppy one, but nonetheless there. to make me think that when this wedge ends, it's probably headed downward. But again, you know, this is tough territory to predict right here, just like it was right here. And I guess the zone of interest would be this big giant vector candle and this one. Actually, and there's a pin here, so 3 here that we might want to consider as potential profit zones for the niggers. Yeah, I think this is probably the most likely move when this wedge decides to end. Dollar CAD. See how we're doing here. I've got a swing trade on here. So my entries are all basically in this part of this extended W. I have several of them kind of through this middle zone. So we're looking for some when this push gets done, looking for rise out to come up here and take out these levels of interest. This one's already been taken out, so I'm going to remove that. This is my next zone of interest, to grab all these candles. But you know, we talked about this yesterday. We're still playing off of this peak, or if you prefer, the larger time frame. Look at this. I mean, we've been dropping for ages on dollar CAD, and we're so close to a low that has held since 2017. And this is where this peak started. I mean, whew, that is a big drop. So I'm trying to catch this swing and ride it all the way back up as far as it'll let me. So not much has changed there with my thoughts on dollar CAD. Yeah, still looking for a move out of this zone up into this one right now. All right, that's dollar CAD. What about Aussie dollar update? Downward trend. Yeah, I know I deleted all this yesterday. Why is it not saving when I delete? Just keep saving. I'll just press this save button 100 times. Maybe I'll turn auto save back on. That might do it. So yeah, I remember this feels I mean, this is a bearish move right here. This 200 crossing over. The 800 is about to get crossed. You've got these 3 peaks. This feels like a downward trend, doesn't it? Yeah, I mean, I think if I had to guess, we're headed for a fairly extended downward move. Next zones of interest would be this area where these greens are, this area where these have not been recovered yet, and then the last one in the recent history would be over here. All right. Yeah. Look at the 4 hour. Turn off these session breaks. Oh, you know what? Let's just turn that off and apply to all the charts. Okay. I don't want to have to do that every time. So on the 4 hour, we have already moved through the 50 once. We've rejected it the next time. We've pushed through the 200 twice. The 800 is way down here. That may, you know, I think maybe when we break through here, we may have essentially this. You're probably going to get another bounce off the 200 or there somewhere near it. And then another rigid, you know, if this 50 continues to move down, then I think the biggest movement would come over here after this next bounce. Once we get through this, that's where I would look for this type of a mirror of this zone shift over here, right? So roughly this move sort of repeating itself, but to the downside, which could bring us through to collect all of these areas. That brings us to the 800, which will have risen at that point a little bit. So probably there is where we're expecting the biggest bounce. And then maybe repeat this type of an accumulation zone or trap zone, whatever you want to call it, after this move. It seems to happen a lot on the larger time frames. I mean, you can see here, this accumulation zone between these two peaks turned into this accumulation zone later, right? Which was mirrored over here. Like, these zones seem to happen, and then again, if we drop down through this zone the way we did on the way up, then you would have a mirror of this, which is a mirror of this, and just ever so slightly off of a mirror of that, right? So those are the areas that are going to get the most action, it looks like. And then, now that we're pulled back, we might as well do this. I mean, if we didn't call this out, it would be malpractice. Get rid of these circles. What the crap just happened? Oh, I see what I did. I didn't mean to copy those. Alright. I mean, while we're here, how in the world would we ignore this? Alright. That is, that's something right there on the Aussie dollar. Now that comes after how many levels? Look at that. I mean, that is juicy right there. Woo! Let's go to the daily. Let's turn off our indicator. Yeah. That's it. I'm sure I probably covered this exact thing yesterday, but this is juicy right here. Yeah, I'm almost positive that I did this yesterday. Massive peak. Yes. Look for long swing short. Yeah. A little bit of confirmation that this is going to play out. So breaking through this zone right here, that will tell me that it's time to maybe grab some long shorts to go all the way down here. Because this move this has been a hot minute right here. It's a year ago. Yeah, this was a year ago. Alright, let's get back on the hour. Aussie's done. You've done euro, pound franc, dollar franc. Let's look at pound franc quickly, and then we'll get to some crypto. Look at this bounce off the 800 on the 1 hour. Very nice. Look at that. I mean, London just tapped it and pulled right back. Yeah, this... it's hard not to believe that this downward trend is going to continue. On pound franc. All these areas to recover here. This massive peak M right here on the top. Slowing me down. Just, yeah. We'll see what happens. It's hard to say, but because this zone has lasted a while, right? But it looks to me like this is getting ready to break out low. And then more locally, you have this really nice looking M right here. Drop through, we get a cross of the signal line, we get a cross of the 50 and the 200, we get a cross of the 800. Yeah, all signs point bearish, but that doesn't mean that it will have to play that way. Since the peak, all of this is one level. I mean, it's hard not to consider this entire bit right here one level, but certainly that. Form a nice little W here to bring it back up. Retrace here, back up. Tap the 800, so my guess would be we tap the 800 a couple times. Head back down, and then if we break through here cleanly, probably a pretty sustained drop is my guess. And there wasn't much resistance on the way up until here. I mean, there's a little bit here, so maybe, yeah, these may be some areas that are worth. Certainly this, where this peak was, that's close to where we dropped here, isn't it? This would be another area potentially if it behaves similarly on the way down as it did on the way up. Those are your steps right there. And then this big zone. Yep. Pound franc. All right. Dollar franc, we know this one is on the rise because we've talked about this quite a bit. Continuing to do what I want her to do. I like this, continuously seeing higher lows, nice trend line. So zone shift could be coming, but this is what you want to see. If you're invested in this going higher, this is a good trend line. And I think this is our next zone of interest there. Cool. I think we've talked about all this plenty. Anything going on with QEN? Yeah. Big move yesterday. Yeah. How old is this? How long has this high lasted? Not long. February, 3 peaks. Yeah, we got a lot to recover onto the low, but the trend is still up. So this will be interesting to see how this plays out in Kiwi Yen. The 800 trend, it looks like, has been respected for pretty much on the 1 hour. Look at that, bounce there, bounce there. After this cross through here and here, look at these. Look how these narrow in. These trend lines all narrowed and then fanned, narrow, fan. Nice head and shoulders right here. Oops, draw that for me. Yeah, that's good. Then a retrace there. Next interest area would be these candles. Not all of that vector. So I'm gonna think that I want to see this come down here. But the real concerning area will be when this moves down, what happens when this 800 crosses. That will tell a story. Because if it rejects hard and bounces, then what you would have is, you know, effectively a nice W here, and then we may move up. And then you really got to pay attention to what happens when we get close to this top, because we've hit this peak 3 times since February, right? 1, 2, 3. So let's keep our eye on this zone. What happens when she comes back down here to test this 800 again? Wherever that happens. We're going to assume that something like that, right? And I'm not saying that I think this W is going to happen, because I mean, actually, this would be an alternate hypothesis for me, because I would guess we're going to break it actually on the next one. So what I think is probably most likely going to happen is we come back through, we break this 800, and we pick up this zone. That's what I think. But the alternate hypothesis would be that you bounce again from here to here, and you head up. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what happens. Hey, what's up, Gorilla? How you doing, my friend? We just finished going through all the pairs that I'm watching on crypto or on Forex. So I'm gonna switch off of this to save that, and then we're gonna switch to my my scalping view for crypto. Take a look at some crypto coins. We'll start with the Bitcoin. I have a nasty looking, look at all this crap on this chart. Good grief. Alright, we can get rid of this futures gap. Don't need that. Get rid of these lines. Alright, let's just get rid of everything. Start fresh. Okay. 1 hour. What do we see? Well, first thing that really jumps out is look at all these trend lines tangled up right here. Look at that. $800, the 200, the 50, all the signal lines are all in this little area. And interestingly enough, right around that time you have this pull down below, a retrace, and then a rejection of the 50, push through the 200 and the 800, push back up, second rejection right here. That is not a strong sign. Not at all. Now this candle looks, I mean, that's stopping volume to a T. But the fact that we only came up, and thus far, now it's early in this move, so it could change. But thus far, we've rejected all three lines here. That signals bearish to me. So interesting to find out what happens here. Do we actually break through this line around 52.8, 53,000? Because if so, then my guess is this candle is in the targets. This big giant vector is in the sights to grab, along with this blue one that preceded it. Yeah, those zones are of deep interest right now. This all fits with what we've seen on the daily. That was the first sort of sign of danger for folks, that this of what may be change we may be entering in this bull run. And the first scare point was right there when folks saw that the daily rejected the 50 for the first time. Man, in this entire run we've not been below the 50 regularly. Now we've dipped below it big time here. Slight rejection there. A little bit of a recovery, but then immediately back down below it. If this dumps, you know, if we get a rejection again here and these two zones get collected, you know, this 50 will have turned for the first time in a year, right? First time since October, not a year. So is that 9 months? That is something to be aware of right there. For sure. And that would have effectively on the daily chart created big ass head and shoulders. So let's pay attention. I mean, this is a critical zone that Bitcoin is in right now. I mean, look at all, this is the daily chart, and look at the signal lines are wrapped up on top of the 50. That's just insane. This is the next couple days are really going to be important to what Bitcoin does in the near future and for this entire market cycle. Because what I'm seeing right here inside of this bigger head and shoulders, in this shoulder is a smaller head and shoulders. If that plays out, maybe headed for a bit of a bear, a bit of extended bear. Let's get some more music going. About yeah, so now what does that mean for a scalper? Well, a scalper doesn't really care. It just means he is, you know, maybe favoring shorts right now. I certainly am. So let's just see. Look at this, we got a red dot that just printed over here on the 15. What are we doing over here on this, on the 1 minute? Nice little pattern here. So this would have been a great place to catch. But we may get a retrace. Let's watch this real quick. Because if you follow, I don't know if anyone who was watching yesterday after my internet went down, that paper scalp we were doing yesterday turned into the profit straight away, right after, I mean, within an hour after I was off the internet, it turned into the profit for us. In fact, we may be able to find it if we blow the 1 minute up and look back. Let's see. That would be yesterday, 04. 0405. None of my markings are here, but this is where it took place yesterday. It was right around here, and we held on till up here. So we had basically caught this high, and we had moved our effective entry up to probably this area, and then we got this nice drop. So that scalp was profitable for sure. Yeah, because I think I dropped somewhere around, yeah, somewhere in the 7 o'clock hour. Somewhere around here is where my internet dropped off, but good move here. So you could have taken this if you, by the time we had built, I think we had built 4 entry positions here. Right, so we had a decent amount in there. Let's say you rode this down until it turned back against you. It's a good move, 861 pips. That's a winner. So let's go back to live and see what we're working with here. Alright, we'll watch this. If this peaks out, if that peaks out, I think that we will start a paper trade short entry, first entry. Pardon me for all the sniffling today, man. My allergies are acting up. How's your week going so far, Gorilla and Maddie? Both of you guys. Anything exciting happen? Should take a moment just to hop over and YouTube, see if anyone's over there that's trying to talk. Oh yeah, we do. Zane. Video quality is just 480. Well. Zane Potato, I see your comment. Not sure what to do about the YouTube quality. I will tinker with the with Streamlabs later and make sure the settings are correct for that. But YouTube, I've had more trouble with that than I have with Twitch. I think it's because this OBS software is designed with Twitch in mind. But you're welcome to hop over here to the twitch.tv stream. Same name, just twitch.tv/bangoutthezone. And I think you'll see better quality video, probably audio, and I'll definitely see your chat easier. You do that. Alright, look, we peaked out right there. We came back in, so we'll mark it right where it came back in. That's going to be a short, so we'll color it red, give it a little bit of a tint, not a lot. Should be right here. Yep. Alright, that's it. Let's see where we go. We have us an initial entry point and a short. And again, list to the top of the screen, paper trade, not financial advice. We don't have to stick on this the whole time, so we can check other coins, but at certain times we're going to want to sit and watch this really closely, like right now, because this could break out and make another move to the upside. So we're interested in this area, and yeah, I mean we're really interested in this area. If we break that, yeah, the next really concerning area would be here and here. I don't see that happening, but you never know. It's unpredictable. So as of right now, where we caught this on the first entry causes me to think that we're only going to want a couple more. Yeah, that's the 445 candle. That's this peak. So this London peak right here is this move right here. So if we hit this again, we'll make another entry, and then we'll watch. But something tells me we probably aren't going much farther than this. With these two moving averages just chilling right above where the London peak is. So we may want to make, if we get up here and we reject it, we may want to make 2 entries, if we can, up here, just to get a little bit of a better position if we don't expect it to move against us anymore. Right? In fact, anticipating that... No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait. I was going to say we'll go ahead and add a second one really quickly right here. But we'll be patient. And wait. See if we bounce here off the 50 on the 1 minute and come back up to tap this high. Yeah, I'm gonna guess we tap this high at least once more before we move down. We'll keep an eye on that. That would be a good place to make a second entry on this chart. Hey, Nerofin, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Oh, I'll let that coffee get almost cold, room temperature. So now's a good time for me to switch the music up, take a little quick break, run, grab a new cup of coffee, and then we'll continue with this paper scalp and see how we do today. We've had a pretty darn good track record lately. I don't think we've lost one of these paper trades we've done on the stream. I don't know that we've lost one at all, to be honest, since we started doing these paper trades, but not to say we won't lose one today. Long night, slow morning. Hear you. Let's swap our music up a little bit. We'll do a little we'll just do some beats. Yeah, kind of like that. All right. Y'all give me a couple minutes to grab a coffee and I will be right back. Nero, we're shorting Bitcoin. I haven't looked at the charts the past couple days. Well, taking a break from the charts for a few days is a good idea. And yeah, I mean, right now we're looking at a short. Now, this is a scalp, so, you know, take that for what it's worth. The reason we're shorting it right now is because the local trend looks down. The macro trend looks down. Honestly, every trend looks down for Bitcoin right now. We're underneath all of the moving averages. The 200 EMA, the 800 EMA, the 50 EMA right there. All of them are, we're below. 50 has a downward slope. 200 just ticked towards a bit of a downward slope. So yeah, I mean, right now for this scalp, we're interested. We're thinking that this is probably not going to push through. I don't, you know, I think the odds of this pushing through London right now are pretty slim. So, but we're going to pay attention to the 1 minute and see if we get presented with another chance to enter, because we may come up and tap where London has set this high pin right here. We may tap that again, at which point we'll make a second scalp entry. We're not going to have a ton of tolerance for it to move against us beyond this point because of how this looks on the 1 hour. Because the next area that we would add would be all the way up here at 56,619. So up in this zone. See here, up here. But we would welcome a push back up to here, and then a rejection off of these trend lines. If they push through the trend lines, then we need to reevaluate what's happening. Midweek reversal day, maybe, I don't know. I mean, if it pushes through, then yeah, guess so. The signs don't look great for that, to be honest, but we'll see. A little bit more juice going here. A lot of money leaving the market in this area. See it on the market cipher B. All this red right here means net money leaving this market. A little bit of green right here. Hard to see, but it's there. But then back to red. And we've been red since May 3rd. So we've been red on money flow for 2 days on the market cipher B. We were only green for less than a day, right at a day. So the 3rd was green money flow, and then red before that. So we're in a bit of a money flow negative trend right now. It's not huge. I mean, right now you can see it's not that big. The yellow cloud on market cipher B is VWAP, so volume weight adjusted price. I believe that's what that stands for. Yeah. So obviously when that's higher, it's more bullish. When it's lower, it's more bearish. It's right at the center line right now. Yeah, very interesting point we're at right now with Bitcoin. See what happens here, because if this pushes up, it'd be nice for this to push up to here, stop, let us grab another entry, and then pull back. Well, oh, no, I don't want to move. I was going to say let's take a look at another coin or two, but I want to see if this pushes out of the volatility band first. This green dot right here on the market cipher B looks like what a lot of times what will happen, and this will print 3 fairly close together, and it'll be like it did here. They're not that close, but you got a green, red, green here. I'm looking, I think this is either going to disappear or it will be a red, green, red if we reject this again. That's what I think is going to probably play out on that. Let me look right here. Green, red, green, green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, and then a drop in green. It happens over and over and over again. I was pretty new to using these market cipher indicators, and I only have them on the center chart. I don't use them on all of my charts. But I've noticed that it's decently, yes, it's decently accurate. And it's kind of nice to have these symbols on the main chart, you know, like you get an X that prints whenever you get a bearish cross of the signal lines. You get a diamond that prints if it thinks a move is coming, and those happen, you know, those are fairly accurate. You gotta, like, if you had traded this diamond, it would have, you know, it would have paid you. These green circles, likewise, the other direction. I don't really care about these gold. The gold diamonds don't seem to do much. Don't have much of an impact. Matter of fact, I think I'll turn them off because I don't like looking at them. Yellow cross. See, that would be the diamond, red diamond, blue diamond. Where's the other diamond? Oh, is that here? Yeah, let's get rid of that. I don't like that. Okay, cool. That cleans it up a bit. Alright. We'll check a couple other things while this is printing a few more moves. I'm just, you know, I'm interested in this damn dog. Look at this move. This is unbelievable. Why is this happening? Just don't understand it. Any of you guys have Doge? I have some now. Basically, I watched this pattern play out because this looked identical to the standard market pattern, you know, that I show all the time. This thing, right? This pattern is identical. So when I saw it hit this level right around here, I bought just to see what would happen. So I bought a stack here, and now here we go. So it's probably time to get out of it and wait for another accumulation phase, because this is your first bump, and then this may be the euphoria of this cycle. I don't know. I think it's probably not. I think this is probably still in this phase. Maybe one more push up, get us up to 80 before it's the optimal time to dump out and wait for a new entry. But I mean, right now, I think I bought at 20, yeah, around 26, 27. I bought in this zone right here, and we're at a 3x right now. It's crazy. Oh, excuse me. I don't understand this coin, man. I don't understand it. I mean, I'm gonna sit on it for a minute, but if I see this trend back down, I'll get out and look for a re-entry, because, I mean, I'm not a fan, and because it has no, it's not a utility coin. You know, I really like coins that provide a that move the blockchain experience and revolution forward. I don't think that this does that, but you know, you can't deny the price movement. It just is what it is. So I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. What's ADA doing? Anything? Probably not. $1.30. Yeah, shocker. This damn coin, man. I don't even like checking it, honestly. Like, I have my portfolio will tell me if it makes a significant move, but it's like, wake up, it's $1.30. Go to sleep, it's $1.30. Wake up 3 months later, it's $1.30. You know, who cares? What about B&B? This is on a that's what I thought. I thought this, man. I was looking at this yesterday, and I saw this play. I knew this was going to happen. This exact move, these two dips right here yesterday to tap this. Look at how well it respected this 200. Move up, retrace, move up. I mean, I think we're going to 7. I think we're headed to 7 on this coin. I really do. We'll see. I mean, obviously, what happens here where these, like this little area right here and this little area right here, the biggest question marks. What happens? How much resistance do we see? But I tell you what, man, these hour candles on these hour bounces right here seem pretty damn strong to me. Now, we haven't had a vector candle on the hourly since yesterday in New York, and New York brought it downtown Judy Brown. So what will they do today when New York opens? I don't know. London's bringing her up. Yeah, I mean, I gotta tell you, I'm pretty darn bullish on BNB, like I am with the Ether. I mean, they're just, the utility on these two coins is just insane. What's Ether doing, by the way? Kind of flattened out up here around 3,500. Got some ranging. You know, any other coin, when I look at this pattern, I would say head and shoulders, you know, and look for a drop. But Ether has proven me wrong multiple times now. You know, that's the pattern I would draw if this was any other coin. But this is Ether, and Ether is just on some other type shit right now. So I'm not even going to draw it because I don't think it'll punch me right in the face. Ether's trapping traders, same as where it was when you went to sleep. Yeah, I mean, this has been, we've been in this zone since yesterday, night before yesterday. Yeah, night before last, actually. Because this move happened at 4 a.m. on the 3rd. This drop was at 8 p.m. my time on the 3rd. And since then, we've been in this zone. All of the 4th and now the 5th. We have a wedge here too. You'll notice. Look at this. I mean, look at these bottoms. How they're moving up, but the tops are moving down. Like that. When this pops off, probably today, I would not be shocked if this doesn't explode up higher. Any other coin, I would expect it to break to the low, but Bitcoin or Ether just isn't having that. So who, you know. I guess logic tells us that it'll have to come down at some point, but I ain't gonna be the one shorting it, I'll tell you that much. Alright, what's Dot doing? Anything? Ranging. Ranging, ranging. Good movement, but yeah. Still in the high 30s. Alright, let's check on our trade. Paper trade. Tapped here again. I'm actually going to mark another entry just so we have a little bit more in this position. It won't move our entry at all, but it'll build a little bit of a stronger position for when the turn downwards happens, if it happens. And this is operating off of the idea that we have, you know, somewhere between 5 and 9 entries available to us before we start, you know, before we get concerned. Maddie, on the 4-hour ETH is showing high activity on the high. On the high. On the way there, it's just gray. I see. Yeah, let's take a look at that real quick. ETH. Big. No, not that one. Let's go here. Let's go 4-hour. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, they're looking at these vectors. Oh man, look at that. Look at all this activity and that got us into this little wedge. And then you're right, tons of gray candles that led to that. One little nudge here, one little nudge here, two nudges here. That started this last move. Well, these 4-hour W's are paying off, aren't they? If you caught this, like W here, paid, W here, massive paid. So yeah, you would think we're coming back down to the 50, but again, I don't know. Let's see what happens at the end of this wedge. What happens here? Oh, we're gonna break out right now. We're gonna break out right now. What are you doing, Ether? What are you doing here? What's happening? Oh boy. Oh boy. Here we go. Nope, I'm gonna tap. Breaking the wedge. What are you doing? It's teasing us. Yeah, it does look scary, Maddie. That's why I'm not trading either. I mean, I've got some, but I'm not touching it. I'm just leaving it. I'm afraid to touch it. I'm afraid it'll burn my fingers. Oh, breakout, breakout. Do we have a breakout or a fake out? This music does not fit the action we're seeing, does it? No, it does not. This does. Yeah. I'm gonna have to turn this up and mute myself for a minute. Just groove a little. All right, so where we are now, we caught this high, this little peak outside of the volatility band, and it's returned back through. This is now the effective entry point, the net position that we have on a short. All right, we still would not cry if we bumped past our position one more time, grabbed a fourth entry right here to move our position up to about right here. But we'll leave it where it is in truth right here. Because it looks like, let's see what happens. Let's see if we push through this 50 right here. And then Ether is doing Ether things. Actually kind of tracking similar to Bitcoin at the moment. Still in the wedge. I thought this wedge was about to get demolished, but it didn't. It pulled back, so gotta trap some more liquidity, I guess. The music scared you. I had to kick it up, man. Shit looked like stuff was about to go wild. You know, we got these green, blue print over here. I thought, ooh, this wedge may be about to get kicked, but pulled back, so bring these down a little bit. Oh, what do we got? What's happening? We just crossed the hour mark. 6 a.m. my time. So, I mean, there's still 3 hours before New York opens, so London's got work to do. All right, let's go back to Bitcoin. See where we are. Those are short. Short's looking good. Short's looking better. We push through this 50. See if we keep pushing. Got our signals cross on the 1 minute here. Don't have a cross on the 15. That's funny. Maddie. I mean, Bitcoin is the granddaddy of them all, but the utility provided by the ETH network and the BNB network, and in the future, the Sol network and the ADA network and potentially the Polkadot network. Those are game changers in the macro sense. Those are not just currencies for people to trade and have fun with. Those are like entire ecosystems of decentralized applications and ways to move money and exchange money. And I mean, it's an absolute change in the way business is done around the world. So yeah, I mean, I think the decoupling of Bitcoin and Ether is inevitable, and it's only going to grow. I think that's actually a good thing, for the future of blockchain and the future of crypto in general. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Rejection of the 50 here. Maybe. Let's see. We may railroad track, or we may just push straight through. Oh yeah, man. I'm sure the news has it is the FOMO news, and you're dead on. It's the news that causes people to buy at peaks and sell at lows. You're absolutely right. Alright, got a little bit of a stagnation here. Let's check ether. Anything? Nope. We may stick in this zone for a while, for several hours yet, before a breakout. This move had me excited, but we'll see. See what happens. The daily FOMO, that's a great idea. I mean, the daily FOMO is really just opening up CoinGecko, right? We don't need to look at the portfolio, but going over here, sorting by the 7-day growth. Here's your daily FOMO right here. You want to be a moon boy. You want to buy at the peak. Come over here. Sort by 7-day high. Look at that. What is this? Litecoin. Let's have a look. All right, there you go. There's your FOMO buy right there. Where are we in a bigger cycle? Yeah, look at that. Perfect. Perfect time to buy. Yes, yes, let's buy. This is euphoria right here. Let's buy right there. That's it, man. That's what you do. Right there. Funny we talk about that because I often will come here to CoinGecko and I'll surf the other direction. I'll pull up the 7-day low and look for things, look for opportunities. Like, look at this. Look where crypto, or look where Crow is right now. Let's pull up like a 90-day view, maybe a 180-day view. Okay. What about a 1-year view? Alright. How about the max? So here's a market cycle, euphoria, drop, accumulation area right here. A little bit of a move, more accumulation. Look, here, this would have been a great time to buy Crow. But then now we have another push, and it looks like we've hit a peak. So even now might be a decent time to make a move into Crow. Here, now that you can get it at 15, 16 cents. Right, this is how I have adjusted my view of the way I view these markets. Is I look for opportunities, not excitement, you know? There you go. Slam Dunkin' 2. Can you do a technical analysis on Litecoin? Just hit top 100 coin. I mean, I can look at it. I don't know much about, well, I don't know anything about what Litecoin is. I can tell you that I wouldn't be investing a stack right now at this market peak. No way. Let's have a look. What is it? What do they do? That's not great. So this is a mobile payment network. Partners. There's some legitimate partners on here. That looks good. Who are their developers? Will it tell us? I don't want to join their Telegram. Partners, jobs. I don't want to job with them. Contact. So it's a Japanese app for payments, for mobile payment. Good partners. I mean, it looks fairly solid from what I can see, just briefly taking a look at it. They're in LA. Sure. Looks like they're in Tokyo to me. Oh, you said they used to be there, but their home base is USA. Okay, well, I mean, it looks legit, but again, you know, I'm not a guru for technical analysis. I mean, I can take a look at something and decide if it's a shitcoin or not. It's clearly not that. Yeah, here's their team. Here you go. Vaccinated half the team who could come to LA to work on safe contactless payments. Yeah, I mean, this looks legit. Looks pretty solid. Safe. I mean, they're really trying to leverage the whole safe pay, contactless stuff. Sending money back and forth. So it's almost like a Cash App or a PayPal or a Venmo type app that is on the blockchain. Yeah, looks good. Now, in terms of would I enter right now at this point in the market? No, I would not. I would wait for that to for this to simmer down a bit. I mean, good God, look at this jump. But it looks good. It looks like a quite good project. Yeah, no problem, man. Looks like Venmo pretty much, but across borders. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool idea. I like it. It seems like a really strong project. Matter of fact, I will follow this, just to keep an eye on it. Look for, you know, watch the price line. I mean, what are we at? Maybe I'll eat my words. Maybe we're, you know, maybe, the hell is the price? Oh, okay, we're at 2 cents, so 2.4 cents roughly. Me. Oh, right here. I'm an idiot. Yeah, maybe I'll check back in 2 days and this will have skyrocketed. I don't know. But this is not the shape I want to see when I make my first entry into any 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 tradable commodity. You bought in at the 7 billion market cap, and now it's over $1 billion. Very nice. Yeah, you must have. I mean, you got in this zone, I'm guessing. Yeah, somewhere down here. What? You have 3 zeros after your decimal? Yeah, very nice. That's a good move right there. That's why I wouldn't get in right right here. You've seen a hell of a move already. I would maybe take a little profit of that, man. Don't let your profits dwindle. All right, Ether's coming down a little bit. That looks a little bit like stopping volume with this ginormous pin on the 15-minute. Let's see. Guessing Bitcoin's doing similar. Yep. Yep. So since this short is in the profit, and we think, I mean, look, we printed another red diamond here on this market side. Look, what did we say? We said it was going to be a red, green, red. Boom. There it is right there. This is, I'll sit on this for a bit because this looks, I think this is going to be a profitable, pretty decently profitable short. It's already in the profit, but we may be able to ride it down for a bit. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Slam Duncan. Don't think I've seen you here before. Glad to have you. Hope your day is going well. Hope your week has started strong. What other gems might we find by doing this, looking at these 7-day lows? So yeah, Crow being here really interests me. Harmony. How's Harmony doing? Market cycle. Drop. This could be accumulation phase right here for one. Explosive growth. Might want to wait and see if we get another drop off. So that's not nearly as old as some of these others. Cake down a little bit. Oh no, this will. I forget. I always forget it defaults back to market cap. Why aren't you filtering? What's going on here? There we go. Let that load. Check back up on. There we go. That's what we want to see. We got a swing trade here on dollar franc. We got a swing trade on dollar CAD. Want this to turn a little bit more. Keep this trend line intact. Be feeling good about that. Come on, Bitcoin. Come on down. What are we going to do with this 200? That's my question. Do we bounce like we did here? Do we push through? Let's look at the dog. Oh, dog's getting a retrace. A little correction. How long will it last? Somebody call Elon. Look, here's the three green, red, green. Red, green, red. Green, red, green. Just happens all the time. Red, green, red. Constantly. It's the market cipher B version of a W and an M, I suppose. See what Link's up to. There's another one that I think I had identified an accumulation phase for it and got in at a decent time. I want to say that was around after this peak in this zone. Yeah, around 30. Yeah, I think that's. Is that roughly where I got it? Yeah, it must be where I got it. It was either this dip or this long period right here. It was around either upper 20s or lower 30s. I don't remember exactly. I think it was this one actually, because of how similar this looks to the market pattern here. Got down to this zone here, so I decided to buy a stack, and it's done well since then too. So we'll see where we think it's going to peak out next, and we'll move out and then try to move back in. What about Uniswap? You doing anything? Another wedge. Rising wedge. Look at that trend line here, and a nearly flat trend line at the top. So that's going to break out pretty soon. Yeah, it could be low. I mean, that's supposed to mean low. We'll see. Alright, this song's a little much for my taste. this out. Does this feel like a stop hunt to anybody else? That might be another good entry. See what it does, but this move and this move definitely induces people to go short, so a stop hunt rise makes sense right here. Push up, pull back. Let's see. Would also make this effectively a head and shoulders formation. But we want to give it a chance to move against us before we make it a fourth entry, since we're at 3 entries already. Flattened out. Yeah, it could be a third pin to the high. Right here. See if it moves out of this formation, taps this high up here, and returns. If so, we make another entry. If it breaks through that, then you gotta reevaluate. This looks like we think they're going to respect these moving averages and this London high. There we go. What'll do, baby? We'll put a vertical line here just so it'll be easy to identify where we started this trade, in this paper trade. There we go. Moment of truth. Get ready to mark this. What you gonna do? What you gonna do, big boy? Gonna come back inside the volatility band here? I think you are. You're down here. Come on. Yep, there it is. All right, let's mark. Let's go ahead and mark right there on this return inside the volatility band, which moves our entry up slightly to about right, maybe here, maybe a little teeny bit higher, but not much. Hey, what's up? I'm good. Top 1. How are you? Do I know you by a different name, perchance? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Glad to have you. Oh, I reviewed all the Forex pairs that I'm watching earlier, but since we have a little bit of a cooldown right here, I'll hop back over and show you. These are the 8 that I'm watching regularly. So dollar yen, pound dollar, dollar CAD, Aussie dollar, euro dollar, pound Swiss, dollar Swiss, and Kiwi yen. So I won't go back through the breakdown of all of them that I'm looking at, but so you can go back if you want, watch the first hour or so of the stream is where I talk about that. But I will, the swing, I'm in 2 swings right now. I'm in a swing on, they're both longs on dollar Swiss and dollar CAD. So I'm really looking for this. I'm in on the bottom of this area that we have here. And this is a 1 hour chart, so this has been forming for a very long time. And I'm really looking for a return up into this zone. I'm actually looking for a pretty sustained move to the upside on dollar CAD, coming off of this M and peaking low down here. And similarly, I'm looking for a similar type move on dollar Swiss, which I got in on several days ago over here in this zone. Similar type shape that dollar CAD's doing right now. And I'm looking for dollar Swiss to move all the way up into this region. A lot of space to ground to recover on dollar Swiss from this long drop. I'm looking for a return over here. So those are swings that I'm looking at, or that I'm in, and then another swing I'm considering is over here on euro dollar, because look how long we've been on a rise in euro dollar, and we finally did hit a peak formation on the upside M. We've had one retrace to the 50 on the 1 hour, but I think all these zones are in sight. So looking at potentially see how far this retrace happens. But thinking of starting a short if we can break through this 800 on the 1 hour chart right here. So this is really my area of interest. The next time I'm expecting a bounce down, and then I'm really concerned with what happens when we approach this 800 again. If we cross it, then I'll probably take some shorts down, try to catch this move that I think is coming. And then the other stuff we looked at from the other pairs, feel free to slide back to the beginning of the stream to take a look at those. Those are the ones I'm really interested in right now. These wedges, I don't feel comfortable doing anything while they're wedging like this. So that's that. What are we doing there? How's our scalp doing? All right, we're in the profit. See if this pin stands or if we push back through. Go back to our triple view. "17 minutes left, so I think we may be about to get some action as this 1 hour candle gets ready to close. You see we've pinned twice now, this high, which is a good sign. Minute 35, you think this will turn red? It's 15 minute, I think it might. Yeah, man, of course. That's what we do, top. What about you? You got your eyes on any pairs? Are you in any trades on Forex that you're excited about? Feel free to share, man. "54 seconds, Mr. Green. Don't you want to be Mr. Red?" Yeah, top. I try to stream most mornings around the London session for crypto and Forex. So you are welcome to stop by anytime. And I also do try to do every Saturday night a nighttime stream where we talk some charts, but we also talk more general stuff like charity work, music. I got a friend who's in prison right now that he's getting ready to get out, and he calls in. We've been talking to him on the phone. He's got some crazy big dreams of starting a nonprofit when he gets out. I'm trying to help him position himself to be able to do that. So we talk stuff like that. You are absolutely welcome here or there if you want. Oh, I guess I might as well mark this on the volatility band for the TDI, yeah. Since we did get in here. Caught that one just about right. Now the entry won't be up here. Obviously we didn't catch the pin. It's right around this area. Alright, it's time for me to break and grab one more cup of coffee. And we'll follow this scalp as far as we can. I probably got another... I may have another hour in me. Let's see. Turn the music up a little bit. I'll be right back. I see. We have ourselves a push through the 50 on the 1 minute. Very nice, very nice. Look at this. Man, Market Cipher just won't quit printing these red diamonds. Red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot, red dot. Make up your mind, man. Come on. Oh, cool. That's awesome to hear, Top Tot. Cool. Been scalping, caught the rise on Euro USD. Yeah. Good stuff, my man. Are you a UK? Is this your normal morning, or are you like me and in the States and just waking up stupid early to trade the session? Or somewhere else in the world altogether? Gonna try to catch it for the rest of the week. Yeah, I should be on what's today? Today's Wednesday. Yeah, I'll be on Thursday and Friday mornings. This weekend it may be a little different. My mother's actually coming into town Friday, so this Saturday I probably will still try to do something on Saturday night, but it'll probably be short. If Josh is going to be able to call, we'll probably just try to knock out a quick conversation with him, and that'll be it for the weekend night stream, since we'll have family in town. And then we'll be back at it next week for the morning sessions. Excuse me. And then the following weekend is also going to be awkward because my birthday is next Sunday. And I think we're going to be doing something Saturday night for my birthday. So probably have to reschedule that stream. Maybe bump it up earlier in the week. Maybe try to do it Friday night. See how that goes. We're getting another push. Our little red diamond went away. Oh, you're Scottish. Awesome, man. That is very cool. I was over there right before the pandemic lockdown happened. So I think our trip was in late January or early February of 2020. I had to go to England for some work, and my stepdad, his family is all from Scotland, so he came with me. We left. We did, like I said, we were in London for work, and then we drove out to Cheltenham to visit some friends that I have, and we drove from Cheltenham up north to Dumfries in a day, and stayed with some cousins there. Stayed, I think, 2 or 3 nights in Dumfries, and then we drove all the way up the Fife Coast from there. Look at this move here. Here we go. So this is probably going to take us all the way close. These areas may be in sight now. Let's see. So if you're trading this, if you're scalping this for real, you would need these entries to be light enough that if this move does move, if this move goes all the way to up here, where where this resistance support area was, that you can make another entry to bring your net position high. Right, but we're gonna watch this play out now. So let's make this a little bigger. I'm gonna mark across the chart where this next area would be. So basically this area, and then another one above it. But anyway, yeah, hey, what's up, goats? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, so we drove, after we left Dumfries, we went up the Fife Coast, did some sightseeing, and then doubled back to Edinburgh and stayed there for, I don't know, 2 or 3 days before we headed out. It is some beautiful country up there, man. Absolutely gorgeous. One of the most, one of the prettiest places I've ever been. Reminds me an awful lot of New Zealand, to be honest with you. Those are probably the two prettiest in terms of like just how almost shockingly green the grass is, and the rolling hills in Scotland and in New Zealand. I was just absolutely taken aback in both those places. I guess I mean, it could be, could be because they're similarly positioned on the globe. Just, one's on the north hemisphere, the other's on the southern. So I guess similar climates bring about similar vegetation and all that kind of stuff. Alright, with these railroad tracks, and this dip back inside the volatility band, we're going to mark this here, right there, as a 5th entry. And since we're going to pretty significantly move our position here, our net position. It's going to go halfway from where it was to where it is. So about there, roughly, is our new net position. We can get rid of this line. So that's entry number 5. Oh, you're from the Highlands. See, that is my next. The next time I'm over there, I'm gonna go up and spend some time up in the Highlands. I have a cousin who's in school up in. I think it's Aberdeen, considered part of the Highlands. Pretty sure that's where she's in school. Innisfree, I think, is up there. Aberdeen, and I'd like to check out some of the islands up there as well. Just outside, okay, yeah. Yeah, just the farthest north we went was like north of Edinburgh along the Fife Coast, maybe, I don't know, an hour's drive, hour and a half drive worth. Okay, you're out just outside of Aberdeen. That's cool. Goats, hopefully you got my message. I think tonight I can I'll have some time to do a chat with you online about your idea. You'd recommend Sky, okay. Well, I'll definitely come back. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Where is Sky? Let's have a look at a map. Okay, that's an island. All right. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I think we drove across up here and took this this kind of scenic route before turning back and coming back down. So we didn't get very far north on our trip in 2020. But this is where you're suggesting we go. Check out Sky. Okay. Turn it to satellite. Let's see what we got. Nice. Let's check out some of the photos from this region. We got. Oh man, look at this. That's gorgeous. The fairy pools. You been to this place? Hey George, how you doing, my friend? Top Tut, have you been to the fairy pools on Sky? Because my goodness, that's pretty. Look at this. It's being slow. Oh, beautiful. That's cool. Go camping here once a year, man. Got ourselves a nice little castle. I love this stuff, man. Oh, look at this coastal picture. Holy crap. That's beautiful, man. Let me actually see if I can make this not be so slow. I think it's slow because I've got the map pulled up on satellite. Sky Scotland. Let's just go straight to images and see what we got. Holy Jesus, look at this. What? Look at this picture. Wow. That is a beautiful landscape. Wow, that is awesome. Yeah, this lighthouse looks like a point of interest. You know these guys? Just kidding. Wow, that is breathtaking. This reminds me a little bit of the I went it wasn't that same trip. It was probably in 2019 when I was over there in the UK. I took a hop over to Dublin and then drove up to North Ireland to the Giant's Causeway. I don't know if you've been there or not. This reminds me a lot of that part of Ireland. God, this is so pretty. Holy crap. Yeah, this will definitely be on the list. Good recommendation, Top Tot. Well done. Oh, I don't need to look at my Binance wallet. Back to Bitcoin. Okay, let's see where we are. Here's the resistance on these two moving averages that we thought we'd see. Look at that, perfect on the 1 hour. Look at that pin. It absolutely taps and just immediately pulls back from the 800 right there. Look at that. Now I think that, let's go to the 4 hour because that's going to show us another picture of this tap. Yeah, look at that tap on the 4 hour. Mm-hmm. Now what happens here? We're in another pretty interesting point for Bitcoin, not just for our scalp, but also for just the general trend. Since this downward trend started, we've cut below the 50 on the 1 hour. We have not, this is the first time we've crossed the 50 and the, you know, here the 200 as well. It just happens to be there, and the 800. But I'm more interested in how the 1 hour reacts to this 50. But for the scalp, here we are sitting. We're in a little bit of profit, very small amount. Let's see how much of a drop this 15-minute candle brings us. George says he heard there's a Route 66 for Scotland. Looks amazing. Well, I can't speak for that. I will tell you that I'll show you the route I went last time I was there, which is basically this. We didn't take the main highway most of the way. So now I started down here. Yeah, I was here in London to work. We drove west to, where's it at? You gonna give me any more names? Anyway, roughly, I don't know, maybe here-ish, I think is where. Let's see. Nope, over here. So we went from London to Cheltenham, saw some friends. Then we drove up through Birmingham, straight through around Manchester. Where is Dumfries? Right here. So that day we drove all the way from Cheltenham up to Dumfries, and then we took back roads through to Edinburgh. So I guess we probably took the 701 and then crossed and took maybe this road, which was just gorgeous country drive in through here. And then, like I said, we got to Edinburgh, we went past it, and we came up the Fife coast up into this area. Probably, yeah, I think St. Andrews is around about as far as we went before we turned around and came back. Maybe near Dundee, but no further north than this. And I'll tell you what, this drive right here, this coastal drive, actually we weren't on the main road, we were off on the side road right here, and just followed the coast all the way as far as we could. Gorgeous drive. Absolutely gorgeous. I've got some pictures I'll bring up in a second and show you. Here we go. Here we go. Let's move we want to see. Now that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 entries, we've got a decent position. So I'm probably at this point, I either have a trailing stop loss set or I'm just watching really close and I'm not letting this move against me again. I'm taking profit from this point. So at some point this trade will close as a winner for me. I may see if we get a rejection from the bottom side of this 50 to get more profit out of it, but this trade is going to close in the profit for us. Let me actually want to show you guys some pictures from just a couple, not a lot. Stream's not about my travel life, but I'm going to show you anyway. Let's see, where are my pictures? Photos, there we go. Okay, that's not helping. Trying to go back in time. Sorry, it's taking longer than I thought it would. Got railroad tracks over here on the 1 minute. Give that some time to play out. Alright, well, I have just failed miserably trying to find these dang pictures. There we go. Here's one. Alright, let me bring this up. This is a panoramic I took on the Fife Coast. Can I... Yeah, let's save image right there. There we go. Oh, and that doesn't do it justice. For some reason it didn't save the full panoramic. I've got, this is one of those kind of where you can turn it and look. Alright, here's what we'll do. We'll just move this over. There we go. This is Fife Coast. Really pretty spot on the beach that we stopped. Alright, anyway, that took way too long. Sorry about that. Yeah, Google said I was in hard mode. So you're working on an indicator where it will indicate that I made a trade or sold a coin and alert you to buy it because it's going to move. Oh, God, goats. Oh, dude. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you on that. It does feel that way sometimes. That's the beauty of this type of an entry system where you allow yourself multiple chances because, yeah, if you're like me and apparently like my man Goats, it's always going to go against you. So let's have that work in our favor and make multiple entries that scale in size. So that our biggest and most important entries are at the end after it's moved against us. And we know we're in profit now. Like, this is going to be a successful scalp. It's just a matter of how much success, you know. Maybe we've got a stop set right here. Maybe we say, okay, we're not going to let it move against us past this point. And I will take, you know, I'll take my very small 350, 360, 330 pips or whatever, right? Because the move, once you've made a decent entry, multiple entries, each of these brings the value of this position up. You don't have to make a ton of pips for it to be a valuable trade, you know? Bitcoin Cash, bookie. I have not looked at Bitcoin Cash. I rarely do look at it, but I will. It's right here. Oh yeah, look at this move. What a very nice move. Look at all these vectors on the 15-minute. Coming off of this like sloping W right here. Like, that's predictable right there, man. If you had watched this play out live, like I said, I don't really look at Bitcoin much, but this little pattern right here, you do whatever you want with that shape, but I've seen this play out many times. We're just going to call that a lower, you know, a cursive W. We're not going to call it anything else. And we're certainly not going to continue the drawing up here. No way, Jose. I don't want to get my stream banned. Top. So why am I choosing shorts on Bitcoin? It's a very good question. I'm only choosing shorts right now on Bitcoin because when I sit down to look at a scalp opportunity this morning, I sat down, I looked, pulled up the 1 hour, right? Whoops, that's not what we want. We want the 1 hour. I always start here, try to identify what kind of a pattern I'm in. And I felt like we were at a point on the 1 hour where Bitcoin would at least move down temporarily before it made a move up, right? So in this zone right here, we'll focus in right here. So we started looking at this in London session. Now we were up here. I felt that we were going to get rejection in this area, right? Around these moving averages, and that if we were going to make a breakout to the top, that we would have one more push to the bottom first. Now that was before this candle printed at all, right? So I'm looking at these two candles when we're making a decision what we wanted to do, right? So that was, you know, I like to go to the 1 hour to get an idea of the trend on the 1 hour, right? Then we're looking at the 15-minute to see a more local trend. And I guess around the time we started this entry, we had not printed this red diamond yet on the market cipher. So we were in this zone right here. And this felt like, okay, they may tap this high, move down. They may tap these moving averages and move down. Either way, I felt like a move down, even a short-lived one, was going to happen, yeah? So that's why we made this first entry here when we saw the shark fin outside the TDI volatility band. So what time? This was at, we marked this at 5:35, which is which candle? So that's on this candle, right? So this is where we marked our first entry. But we had a lot of factors that looked in our favor. You know, we had a red dot on the cipher B, we had a red diamond on the cipher A. We said, okay, we think it's coming down. Well, it moved against us, and that's what we've grown to expect, you know? And so we have multiple entries, you know, we're able to make multiple entries if it moves against us. So that's what we do. We have moved. Now I made this second one because for a while at the beginning, I thought, well, we may have caught this and it may not move against us. So I want to get a little bit better position. So I made an even entry right here that didn't move the net position at all. And then we waited for it to move against us. We made another one. It moved against us. We made another one. And then when it broke out a little bit from where we thought it was going to turn, I thought it was going to turn at this peak right here. See how London tapped twice this exact same spot? Well, when the next hour pushed beyond it, we waited for it to finish at least what we thought was a finish to that move, and we made another entry. So all of that moved our effective entry or our net position up to here on a short. We're now in the profit, and you know, I'm just showing you the way I would play this if I were trading it. Is my risk tolerance would be, okay, I've made my fifth entry, I'm not taking a loss now that I'm in the profit, so I'm setting, you know, this is where my stop's going to be, right around this 50 EMA. Now whether or not I put a stop loss on the books, I don't know. It just depends on really what I'm feeling at the moment. When I say stop, I may just be ready to click the close trade button, or I may actually put a stop loss on the books. I don't know. But either way, that's it, right? This candle right here closes this trade for me if I'm trading this for real, right? So that's my profit. You know, it's a small profit, but it's a profit. It's 5 entries that moved 354 pips in my favor. So I'm going to mark this with a white circle right there. So there you go. That's the trade complete right there. And look at that, we wound up closing higher than our first entry. But remember, each of these entries is equal to what's already in the pot. So this entry is by far the largest. This entry is equal to all of these combined, these 4. So the biggest entry by far closed in a good profit. And that's how that works. Hey man, glad you liked it. You think I should complete the drawing? What drawing, goats? Yeah, Maddie, you're exactly right. That's the idea, is that it does start small. You have to start small to do this. You can't double your entry 5 times if you start big. You just won't have the space, right? I mean, if I was going to sit here for several hours, I would probably be sitting here for a while. Oh, yes, goats. Oh, you want me to finish that drawing, huh? Yeah, I bet you do. If I had the time to sit here for longer today, for another few hours, you know, and I have decided I have 9 entries, right? That's the thing. In my opinion, the way that I've got this system set for myself to understand it is I need to know going in how many entries I'm comfortable making, right? This was 5 entries. So if you went in knowing you had 5 entries, then you at this point, you're at your max possible entry point. If it moves against you here, you just got to eat the loss. But you got to have a tight stop because this is your biggest entry. You don't want to lose more than, you know, you want to close it immediately if it turns against you here. But I've been lately doing scalps with more like 8, 9 possible entries. So if I was going to sit here long enough, I would not close here. You know, I would leave this open and actually welcome another turn against me and a retrace into this zone. That would be ideal to make my last entries, right? So between here and here, maybe I make 2, 3 more entries to make it an 8 entry total, right? Which would move this net position up somewhere in this range. Then all I need is a very modest retrace for it to be a significantly profitable trade. Does that make sense? Yeah, every entry has to be larger. You know, if you want to move the net position, right, between, like, say, all right, let's just say these 2 entries, right? if the first entry is right here, make this bigger so it's easier to think about. If the first entry is here, and then price moves to here, if I want to move my net position halfway between these 2 points, like I want to move it right here, then this entry has to be exactly the same size as this one. Now, if I want to make it bigger, I can, and that will move this higher. That will move my net position higher. You know, if you double it, it'll go 75% of the way up. So right there. But when you start increasing entries by the size of the previous entry, the previous total entry, mind you. So this isn't 1, 1, 1. This is 1, 1, 2, 4, 8. Does that make sense? The next would be 16, 32, 64. That's how you keep moving your net entry or your net position higher. If you put in what is already in the trade at any time, doesn't matter if it's the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th entry, if you put in the amount that's in the trade on the previous position, it will move your net entry or your net position halfway to where price is now, right? And that's the model I've been using just because it's easier for me to think, you know, to process in my mind. Quit my day job. Do I build leverage? Yeah, I have to use leverage to do this. Yeah, I mean, I bump it beyond 5 and 10x. Sometimes I bump it to 25. Occasionally, I've gone higher than that. It just depends on what you're comfortable with, because the more leverage that you use, the less margin that's in your position, but the lower your liquidity rate and the less margin for error, so to speak, that you have. So if your cash margin goes down, so does your margin for error. So you can think of it that way. So typically, you know, maybe I started this at 1 or 2x, right? These 3 entries, right? Maybe by this entry, I need to bump it to 5x. Maybe by this or the next one, if it goes up here, maybe I need to bump it to be comfortable. I need to bump it to 10 or 15x. That happens all the time. Because you're just using leverage as a tool to get these positions set. That's the only reason you're using it for, right? That's the key. But here, look, this is a nice, I mean, if we had stuck around, if, you know, we had let this play out a little bit longer, we're in a real nice profit now. So this is a point of interest on this 200. This is a point of interest on this 800. We expect some resistance here, just like we got here, right? Your Gorilla, your last boss didn't pay you, so you had to quit? Anyone let him know that, like, you know, that's part of the agreement between a boss and a worker, is that they actually friggin' pay you? Somebody's not holding up their end of the bargain there. Yeah, there you go, Maddie. Exactly. That is one of Trader at Home's rules. Only add close to your stop loss. Yes, be your least loss. Exactly. That is the principle, and I got it from Trader at Home. That is in the study hall of Trader at Home's website. If you guys don't know who that is, this link, I'm going to put it in the chat. This dude is the guy, this is the PVSRA guy, the person who came up with PVSRA, to my knowledge. If you register, it's a little bit of a pain, but it's worth it, I think. And then you can go into Orientation Room and Study Hall, right here. Click on Study Hall Library, right there, and you get a lot of good stuff here. So here, this is what Maddie just posted right here. Boom. Add to trade only close to SL, because if the market makers push price against you, you won't lose that much if you're adding and you can add aggressive. Exactly. That is the principle. One of the principles behind this method is that the higher you get, the more money you put into your position, the tighter you are to closing your trade, to being out. So if your tolerance is, 6 positions, on that 6th, the 6th is by far your largest entry, and it has the tightest stop. You will not let it go against you anymore to limit your loss, right? Yeah, Gorilla, you're right. Use very small trade. I think yesterday I talked a little bit before my stream got cut because of the stupid internet here. Um, I think it's, I think the best way to do this personally is to paper trade a lot. But once you get comfortable with how this works, right? Start trading with money and see, start with a small amount, like Gorilla said, and then track if you're winning at the same rate that you were when you were paper trading when you were trading with real money. If there's a significant difference between those two win rates, it probably means that you're trading with too much money, or your emotional attachment to that money is too high for whatever reason, because that tells me that your decisions, if you're losing more than you were when you were paper trading, it tells me that your paper trades are based on logic and following the rules you've set for yourself, about where you're going to add, what your tolerance is, how many entries you'll make. And then if you start losing when you switch to real money, you're not following those rules anymore. You were probably trading emotionally, and the solution to that is trade with less in general, right? That's how you remedy that. And if there's no amount of money that is low enough that you're comfortable removing emotion and just trading based off of the rules you've set and the logic, then you may not, trading may not be your thing. This is not for everybody. That's for damn sure. So that's how I think is a good way to learn this. I mean, it's essentially what I did, and what I am still doing. It's what I have been doing for a long time now. And the more practice, the more time you look at these charts and do paper trades like this, the better feel you'll get for what types of patterns are likely to print on the 1 minute, and how that relates to the 15 and the 1 hour. And always take the time, I think, you should always take the time to identify what you think the trend is on the 1 hour. All right. And then where the cycle in the 15-minute is in relation to that trend, to decide, do I want to favor long? Do I want to favor a short? Do I want to do a hedge mode? And then once you've got all that squared away, then you start looking for these peaks. You start looking for where it jumps out of the volatility band as potentially a signal to enter into a trade, and be prepared for it to move against you. So yeah, and you can do it a ton of different ways, like b0tz is saying. I like doing this because I'll keep track of this, and I'll share it over in the Trader's Reality with some of the folks there who are learning this method. And this makes for nice screenshots. Once this is done, we'll blow it up, make a nice screen grab of this to stick on. I've got a folder on my computer that just has tons of these pictures of, here's what this trade looked like, here's what my entry position ended at, here's what my exit looked like, here's how much profit I took. So I can review afterwards and say, well, I shouldn't have set my stop here because that minimized, that cut my profit short. And actually, in honesty, this, where we set, like earlier, I had said, I probably have my stop loss here. This probably would not have triggered, because the way you do a stop loss on at least on Bybit, where I trade live, it's a post only close, so this may not have actually even posted. So there's a really good chance that price didn't close here, that this tap did not post anything in this range, and so it would still be moving down. But that's just, all of that is based on your what exchange you're trading on and the way that you close. If you're closing just by clicking a button, then obviously it is going to close, and it's going to give you whatever the market price is at that time. Whereas if you set your stop loss or whatever, your limit buy, limit sell, and you set it to post only, then a lot of these moves that visualize won't actually happen until it posts on the book. Oh, good, George. I'm glad you like that. Hopefully that helps. I mean, it's not exactly what PC Shed does. It's very similar. He does more. He does a lot more with adjusting the leverage of the. I think his brain operates at a speed that mine can't quite reach. So I have to take his the knowledge that he shares. I have to take that and sort of dumb it down to an easier, an easier structure that my brain can follow. And so this is what I've landed on that's really comfortable for me. And you can do the hedge mode this way too. You can build a position on the opposite end of this by looking at shark fins to the low. And so, you potentially could have made a long entry here. All right. Oops, wrong color. You could have made another long entry here. Right, which would be on the price chart, and it would be here, here, nope, here. We've got another one here. So you could have built yourself two positions. So these three entries would have your long position sitting roughly right here. And then from this point, if you were going to keep this going for a while, you would watch for moves outside of the volatility band, and you would make further entries on your long when price moves this way so that you can extend this net entry as low as possible. And then vice versa, when price moves against you up here, you can move your net entry up high. And the way you would fund these entries, ideally, is by closing some portion of this short position that you have, but which it's not going to change where your position sits on the chart. So let's say it moves, let's say this point right here, you could close a quarter of your positions here, use the money that you closed there, the profit, to open this position. If that happens a few times, you've pulled, right? That is the ideal way to make this happen. And so if you monitor this well and you're paying attention and price moves in a reasonable way, you can have these trades self-fund, and you will have your initial capital out of the trade eventually, and all of this will be funded by itself, by the movement of the price. And that's the ultimate goal, right? It takes time and it takes patience, which are two commodities that a lot of people don't have a lot of. But it is doable, and for me, this is the model to do that. It's just, I have sat at what, quote unquote, a scalp that turns into 5-6 hours worth of trading and moving these positions out, pulling profits from one side to fund the other side. When it moves that way, pulling profits from that side to fund a new entry on the other side. I mean, it's a ton of fun once you get your hands around, your head around it. The thing you got to be careful about is, especially with crypto's not Forex. Forex follows some pretty standard movements. Ooh, check out Cuba yen, that's moving. But, crypto has a tendency to go absolutely apeshit in a really, really short amount of time. So you just got to be careful. Don't overextend your leverage. Don't overextend your cash margin in each position. Yeah. Because you don't want to be where was it? Let's hop in our time machine. Right. You don't want to be building two positions when this candle happens right here. Right. Because this is an hour candle, right? But if you remember, this move happened in about 3 minutes, the biggest chunk of this move. See, 17 April at 2300. Let's pull it up on the 1 minute and see what that looked like. Let's hide everything. Let's hide our drawings. Yeah. And let's go 23 April. Or was it 17 April? I think it was 17. Oh, we gotta go back a ways. Oh, it's still trying to print. Alright, let's let this load. But I just want to see, I just want to show. You're not going to load this for me? Come on. Don't tell me it doesn't go back that far on the 1 minute. That's Crazy Town. Yeah, 17 April. Come on, where are you at? Huh. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe it won't load that far back on the 1 minute. That's weird. Wonder why that is. Here, 17 April. Right here. Well, we'll look at the 5 minute, right? So here, this is how quickly this move was. Right? Like, you don't want to be built. You don't want to be, you know, building 2 positions right here, and then, you know, go to the bathroom and this candle prints while you're away from the computer, or this candle prints, because that's going to liquidate you. Almost guaranteed. I mean, we're dropped from 58K, 58.8 up here in, you know, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, all the way down to 52. This 5 minute candle right here, I mean, good grief. That's a 5 minutes worth of absolute pain if you're not paying attention. So you got to be careful with this, is the whole point of that departure there. Let's just be careful, you know. You need to set a stop loss, you know, use isolated positions, not cross, so that your entire portfolio doesn't get liquidated if a black swan like that happens. Although in Bitcoin, that's not really a black swan, because it happens monthly, it seems. So yeah, I mean, look, this is where we are. Let's just keep watching this play out, because now we're getting to the point where we're outside the volatility band again. So you have an opportunity to move your long position down. You know, so if you catch that, you could move halfway between this position and that position, which would move your effective position roughly to here. Good spot to be, potentially. And you could fund that entry with the closing of this short, right? Hey, thanks for the follow there, Hooky Bookie. I guess I should look real quick at... Yeah, okay, so whoever was in... is anyone over here on Twitch the person named Zane Potato on YouTube? I tried to respond to them, but I don't see those chats as quickly. Okay, cool. That's you. Good, good. Is the stream quality better over here than it was on YouTube? It should be streaming at 1080p on Twitch. So if it's not, somebody let me know and I'll see if I can spend a little time learning how to up that quality for us. Okay, good. Good. Thanks for letting me know. Check up on our crypto. How you doing, Mr. Dollar CAD? Oh, bottomed out. Here we go. How many times are we going to tap this low right here is what I want to know. How many times? Before we get up here into the area I want her to go to. All right, what about Swiss? Dollar Swiss? Still according to plan. Need this guy to turn around pretty soon and get headed back the other way. But I do like the trend lines that have sort of established themselves like this. Roughly. It's not going to be perfect, but it's a decent trend line right there. Here. Now this is widening out a little bit. That's okay. Be nice for this candle to make a turnaround, head us back up in the other direction. Switch these all to 15 minutes. This wedge right here on dollar yen is really interesting. Aussie dollar definitely primed for a move. Down, I think. Grab these areas. Something like that. And Kiwi dollar. Interesting. This push is a little different than what I thought. I thought we were going to come down. I thought that the Sydney Hong Kong Asia session high might last, but it doesn't look like it is. We'll see. New York opens in an hour and 15 minutes. That could be a reversal. So that would be this candle right here on this stick. And I'm looking for it to come down and then decision time at this 800 on the 1 hour. We'll see how that plays out. All right, back to the scalp. Signal lines are coming together right here, right on top of the 200. It means it's break times, one direction or the other. Non-farm and other nasty news coming up Friday. I think they're going to hold dollar pairs for it and then move with explosion. That's very possible, yeah. Look, we look at these crazy dots we're getting on Cipher B on the 15-minute. Red, green, red, green, red. Alright, it's enough coffee. Switch to water. Alright, we'll take a little bio. I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Probably last session when I come back, and then I'll need to get ready for work. So, give me just a few. we go. Here we go. A little action here. So yeah, I mean, at this point, if you had held on to your long or your short position, you know, if you're doing the hedge mode, then you're running up against a good point to, you know, between here and this MA right here. It's a good spot to pull profit, open up a new long. Now I drew this in after the fact, so I don't want to leave those there because that's giving yourself a, you know, we wouldn't have had that advantage. We didn't draw those as they played out. So I don't like to have anything on my chart that the move I didn't make while it was playing out. You know what I mean? Because that makes it look, in hindsight, better than it actually was when it played out. So I'm going to actually delete these. I think, I mean, the purposes of drawing it earlier was just to show, you know, the way you would make that move if you wanted to do a hedge mode. I think that accomplished its purpose. So everything's moving right now, huh? Let's have a look at everything. Start with Litecoin. Yeah, got some movement here. Dropping. What about ADA? I bet ADA's not moving. $1.30, imagine that. Doing what it always does. Atom, drop. Bitcoin Cash. Yep, that looks like Bitcoin Cash is pulling back significantly here. Nice big fat pin. BNB, what are you doing? Oh, BNB's pulling back a little bit. But pulling back after a nice resurgence from these lows. Look, we had a tap here. I thought we might get another tap on this, on the 1 hour on the 200, but it didn't even make it that far before it pushed through the 50. Someone asked me about this the other day, and I went out on a limb and said I think this move, once we get off of this 200, get through the 50, bounce off it again, I think we're headed to 700 up here. And I'm just basing that off of, you know, the price movement and the fact that BNB and Ether are in a league of their own right now in terms of what the market's doing. So look, I would not be surprised to see all of this move recovered fairly quickly on BNB. There's Bitcoin. What's the dog doing? Dog is down a little bit, but struggling, making some moves. That's a nice trend line. Real nice trend line for the dog. Dot. Dot moving its own way. Okay, alright, I see you, Dot. I see you. Don't do what Bitcoin does. You do your thing. Do your own thing. Really nice candle up here. Look at that. On the 1 hour. Broke through the last high. So, next point of interest. We're going to recover this big candle on Dot. Let's see. This big vector candle has not seen a profit yet. That could be in sight right here. That very well could be getting tapped into right about now. We'll see. See how that plays out. ETH still in the wedge. Yep, nothing to speak of there. Hot. Pretty much following Bitcoin, looks like. How similar is that? Oops, to the Bitcoin. Yikes. There we go. Yeah. Pretty close, yeah. Yeah. Looking for a bounce here between these two big MAs. Link USDT, what are you up to? Nice move out. Good, good, good. ADR 4403, and we're sitting at 54. We're overextended already, even more if you count this pin, which we should. Yeah, so we're significantly over the average daily range. So this is probably headed for a retrace action in this zone today, I would guess. Maybe London drops us down in a couple hours. Once New York is in full swing, maybe they bring us back up. That would fit. That would make sense. Or we get a turnaround right around Hong Kong low to form a head and shoulders type. You know, with the Tokyo and Hong Kong high, the London high. London could do a retrace there, and then New York could be the one that brings us back down. That's very reasonable. Stays within the ADR. Yeah, we've already looked at that. I haven't looked at XRP today. Look at what's Ripple up to. Big green candle on the 1 hour. 2 vectors. This has now been reclaimed. What's our next interest point here? Over in this zone. Not a lot that's unrecovered, is there? Not hardly anything that is unrecovered, so it's hard to really draw any target boxes there. We'll have to just look at the movement, see what we think. You know, this pattern right here plays out over and over and over. This. You'll see this over and over and over and over. Every chart. So now that we've come out of that and we've dropped, and we didn't spend a lot of time in this zone where we flattened out both on the drop and the rise. Yeah, I could see potentially a little bit of resistance in this area, but this feels pretty bullish to me. If we clear out of this zone right here, if we can break through here, through this top, if we can violate this head and shoulders right here, right? We can get a strong move to violate that, then we've got a nice upside swing probably coming. Probably to hit resistance in the $1.90, $1.95, you know. And then I would guess if we break through that, then we'll push, we'll form some support around $2. That's my guess. But that's a really nice move. And look, it played off of a 1 hour formation of an inverted head and shoulders right here. Head and shoulders, head and shoulders. Back to back. This I've noticed happens fairly often in the crypto charts as well. But this looks like a pattern breaker right here. Alright, back to the scalp. Again, I do not recommend us swapping like this if you're in a live trade, and especially if you're pretty up there in your entries and you have a decent size down. Don't do what I'm doing right now. Just look at other charts. It's a recipe for absolute disaster. So yeah, so I'm gonna I need to start getting ready for work. It's a little after 8, so what I'm gonna do, since I had set this, I'm gonna mark that as a take profit point, and then I'm gonna mark this as the full close, somewhere in this range. Either way, we close this in the profit. So another successful move. I'll screen grab this and share it with anybody who's interested. So we've got EP1 here. EP2. 3. EP5. Our net position ended here. Short. There's our net position short. So you've got a take profit here. And you've got our close here. There you go. So your first take profit pips were 396. Your final close, 948 pips. There you go. I'll call that a good morning. What do you call it? Not too shabby. Squeeze this down so you can see that, and we'll close it off with the vertical right there. That's it. That's the trade. All right, guys, I'm gonna lock it right there. Call this a morning. Get ready, go work for the man for a little bit. And then I probably will see you guys, at least some of you, hopefully, tomorrow morning. So thanks for coming by. Thanks for sharing a little bit of your life with me today. Hope you got something out of it. If not, anything trade related, maybe just a little bit of entertainment. And I wish all of you the best throughout your day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right.